so that it helps that as you're discovering what is holding you back, you don't have to sit in it too long. It's all right here.
Yeah.
And that helped a ton.
I'm Jill Avey, a career success coach, and this is SisterSmart Leadership, the show that explores how women can rise from director to vice president and beyond by fully leaning into their feminine energy as their biggest advantage. Let's get you one step closer to the recognition and promotion you deserve. All right. So, Krystal, I am so excited to be talking to you today about your experience in the SisterSmart program because I've enjoyed working with you so much. And I know that you have a lot to tell people about your experience because you told me that you really wanted to share how it's gone for you so that other women could learn more about the program and hopefully be inspired for their own journey. So what were you feeling when you first started, and why did you reach out to me? You came to one of my master classes and then you reached out to me afterwards. What were you feeling at that time?
Actually, when I attended your masterclass, my husband had just asked me this question, like, why do you keep sabotaging your success? And I was like, I don't know. And I actually hadn't thought of it like that before, because as human, we would always be like, it's them, it's everybody else. So when I went to your masterclass and you talked about saboteurs, I was like, wait a minute. Okay, let me listen. And then you said, I've spent however many years and thousands of dollars doing all this research so you don't have to. And I was like, oh, okay. So we get to fast track through all of this. Like, you had me then. But then when we had our discovery call and we spoke more, I was even more like, I was sold. And it wasn't that you were selling me. It was in that call, I felt supported. I felt seen. And for that to happen in like a few minutes of getting to know someone or speak to someone, I was like, okay, I have to. And at that point, I know I felt lost. I felt trapped. I felt overwhelmed. And most of all, I felt hopeless. I wasn't even in corporate at the time. As a matter of fact, I was like anti-corporate. Like anything that said a job, I was running from it. I hated it. I couldn't stay. Like it just didn't feel like a safe space for me for everything that I'd been through in my career. And I just was over it all. I know you probably remember this. I was like, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm not trying to climb the corporate ladder. I just want to understand how I'm being self-destructive so that I can be successful in starting my business. And you were very clear that I don't typically work with entrepreneurs, but let's give it a go. And literally, hands down, the best decision that I made, because not only did you live up to your promise of helping me figure out why and how I was self-destructing and I was sabotaging my own success, but you also held my hand through the really, really hard parts when I would normally have been like, nope, not doing this. I'm running. I'm going to go look at something else. You let me know that it was okay. You let me know that it was common, and you just kind of loved and supported me through it. Would not have been able to do it without your support. So eternally grateful. Eternally grateful.
Yeah. And so you were coming out of a career in consulting and deciding to launch out on your own as an entrepreneur. And you're right, I don't normally work with entrepreneurs, but gosh, I wish that I would have had all of this work behind me when I started my business. So I knew it would help. You did our shorter program that doesn't go as much into the team management stuff that you would need in corporate. And so what are some of the parts of the program? And thank you so much for, all you've said so far. Have been really honored to be there and be that support system for you. What are the parts of the program that you have gotten the benefit from?
Number one, saboteurs, because those things show up everywhere in my relationship, all of them, my parenting style. I noticed those darn things everywhere, and I'm able to identify them now, name them, calm them down. But I don't want to miss how we start the pre-work, because here I was running from consulting, hated it, was trying to find a career in anything but, and everything was saying that I was meant to be a consultant. I was like, well, what the heck? am I doing wrong? Why do I hate it so much? Why is it so painful if this is where I'm supposed to be? And starting off with that and then leading into the saboteurs, I think really just put things into perspective. The communication module, oh my God. I mean, that as a standalone, right? The PQ bootcamp, the communication module, those two things as standalones are totally worth the investment on its own. And then you add all this other goodness in the middle of it. Even having me going back to different areas of my life and finding happy moments. You know, we talked about how that was really hard for me because I only remembered the things that caused me pain. Like I was carrying that with me and I forgot who I was, the things that made me happy, that brought me joy, that fueled all of my dreams. I had forgotten all of that. And going back and really digging through it, I was like, wow, I love to write. I love to share and help people. I love to perform, like all these things that I had totally forgotten and were really just lost in my career and being a wife, being a mom, like all that. I had lost me. And during this program, I think finding me, understanding how I was sabotaging my success, and learning how to communicate that with others in a way that's not invasive or overbearing or inconsiderate, were just like the keys that unlocked everything. Because I couldn't put my finger on why I felt so overlooked and undervalued. And it's because I wasn't doing a good job of communicating. I talked a lot. I wasn't being mindful of my nonverbal communication or how I interact with others and how I celebrated with others. I just felt so lost and trapped that I just didn't have the space for that. And so going through this program, refinding joy, quieting my saboteurs, not ignoring them because they're picking up on things that are important, but just learning how to process the information that they're giving me and then learning how to communicate with that with others. Total game changers. I'm ready for anything now, I feel like.
That's fantastic. Were there any, I mean, we talked a little bit about this already, but any other moments that you felt were like turning points for you while you were in the program?
Yes. I got to apply a lot of this stuff in real life because real life happened a lot during our 6 months together.
Yeah.
And I got to see in action and practice some of these things in real time. Losing my godmother. I faced grief like I do my saboteurs, and I think that helped a lot. I think some of the volunteer work that I do, not like feel an emotion and just boom, I'm running with it. I've learned to sit with it and not be so afraid of it and keep the main thing the main thing. A lot of our conversations helped a lot because I didn't feel alone. Before this program, I felt like I'm the only one in the world that feels like this. No one understands because I felt like I was a visitor to this planet and like everything around me is just utter chaos. But I think you validating my experience, letting me know, oh, unfortunately, that's pretty normal. And making me feel human in my experience was probably one of the biggest ways that you show support. And then knowing that not only do you feel this way, you already created a lesson for that. So go look at this lesson. That will help you. I'm like, oh, she wasn't lying when she said I spent all the money, spent all the years, so you don't have to. It's like when you have that aha moment, she already has a solution that helps because it's like I'm not sitting so long in that feeling. I can go and do something about it. That's been the difference from therapy or all the other things is the practical steps once you figure it out. Like I've said 30 minutes worth of stuff and I said nothing because at the end of the conversation, they felt just the same, if not worse. I think I have a hard time translating my ideas into, actionable steps. And you're like, oh yeah, yep, you should go do this module. Oh, and then get to it and you're like, oh yeah, okay, this is exactly it. Thank you. Or the techniques to keep focused when I was like, I just don't want to do it. And because I don't want to do it, I don't. and you should try this module.
Mm-hmm.
So that it helps that as you're discovering what is holding you back, you don't have to sit in it too long. It's all right here.
Yeah.
And that helped a ton.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was able to quiet the judge, like, see, we're doing something about it. And, you know,
our universal saboteur
the
is the judge.
the main one that comes through with his homies whenever he wants, just kicks down the door. I think people can see it in me and how at peace I am when there's chaos around me. That's not typically me. It helps when I'm listening to advice from people. I'm able to filter it through my saboteurs, through all the things to get to the right questions to ask, to probe for more information, and to know what to take and what to leave and what not to take personally. I probably mentioned like 10 different turning points. Yeah, I think having the answer to the question right as you're thinking of the question, I think that was probably the universal. I just kept pivoting, you know? And I really like that.
Because now you have this whole toolkit to draw from, that you have so much more ways that you can respond. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it helps me extend grace to others because I recognize the saboteurs. I recognize the distress and how it manifests in other ways because I was there. And so I'm able to say, oh, okay, I can take a step back and I can extend grace and love because I see it. And I think the way I've been responding in those moments is starting to rub off, right? On people that I'm around, because I'm not flipping off the handle or letting my saboteurs rule, which number one is pleaser, second one is avoider, which are that's a horrible combination, but also probably the most common because they're not showing up and I'm standing in it and I'm able to communicate more about how I'm feeling in that moment, trying not to trigger their saboteurs. It's helpful in so many different ways, even with my children. Like it's crazy. I'm just grateful.
And so what would you tell somebody that was maybe on the fence and not sure about whether to work with this program or not?
I would say be bold, invest in yourself. If you're on the fence, it's because you should do it. Full stop. And that's probably one of your saboteurs trying to talk you out of it. And you'll learn more once you get in the program. Like, just do it and think about it later. There were so many times when I wanted to be like, no, I can't do this anymore. And then your calm voice would say, I understand. Give me those encouraging words. I'd take a breath and do it. And then on the side, I was like, wow, that wasn't bad at all. And I feel so much better. Whew, okay, cool. We can do this now. So I would say if you're on the fence, it's because you should. If you're not on the fence, it's because you should probably do it tomorrow, not today. If you hadn't even thought about it, it's probably because you'll be ready for it in a month or two. I literally think that everyone, even if you think you're good, do it because you're going to find something. I think that's the beautiful thing about this program, digging deep in who you are right now and how you got there. And then holding hands with her or him, because I know it's Sister Smart and it's for women. And I'm not telling Jill to work with men. I'm just saying I think it's that valuable that any and everyone could benefit from this program. And I would say grab her hand or his hand and take the journey to what's next, because you will only get better to the point where I could see myself repeating this program and doing the full thing, because that new version of me will be ready for the next level. And knowing how supportive Jill is and having her to hold your hand through it is probably the biggest game changer. I did the one-on-one, but I'm sure the group is just as valuable. And I'm like, I can't say enough good things. Do it. Just do it.
I love what you're saying about that you would do it again because you're going to be a different person. And one of the things that people talk about is how customizable it is to your life and where you are today. And it really does flex over so many different stages of life and different levels of, leadership and things like that. And so I do have a lot of people come and stay after they get promoted. They'll be like, well, I'm a different person now doing this different job. And so it can really flex like that. It's kind of fun that people stay in the community for years sometimes because of that.
One of the things, as we mentioned, I was not in corporate when I did this. So I did this from leadership in my home. So to do it next time, I'm now in a new company, new environment. Like, it's completely different. And I'm no longer looking at it from my family, right? I'm looking at it from my coworkers, my boss, like it. And then let's say my business blows up and now I'm CEO of this super,
Right.
I'm manifesting right now, this
Yes.
super large, impactful consulting firm. I got to do it again, because one thing I also learned through this program is each time I got a new role, I just left the other person behind. And that person was chasing me saying, hey, don't forget about me. So when I got a job, I forgot about student Chris. When we got married, I forgot about independent woman Chris. Well, actually, I didn't. They fought for a while. When I became a mom, like all those different phases of my life, I didn't do a good job of integrating her and staying whole. And so in this program, it helps me identify what are my baseline core values, and now I can build upon it. Seasoned Chris and new Chris have been now dreaming together and refining the dream and shooting an idea and say, no, we can't do that because of this, and vice versa. So we're still staying true to the 9-year-old that knew she was going to be an entrepreneur then, but also factoring in being a wife, being a mom, being a member of a community, being a sister, a friend, all those things into this whole one person. So I'm looking forward to doing it again and what I'll learn about Krystal in that point.
Oh, fantastic. Any last words? Anything else that we didn't cover?
So I feel compelled to share, like if we think about the climate today, and working with you over the past 6 months solidifies in my mind the importance of diversity and inclusion, because obviously we are different in a very surface level. But working with you over the past 6 months, I learned we're actually the same person. We just grew up in different areas, look different. And your experience and your outlook on life, I'm able to bring that in, and it's an advantage points that I could never have. And so bringing those thoughts together, the conversations that we've had, our beliefs, our studies, the way we've experienced the world, and bringing that together, I think that's also what has catapulted and made this program so successful for me. I've worked with coaches before, I've worked with therapists before, and no shade to anybody because they all prepared me for our time together. But I think I've seen the most transformation because of our differences, on top of how similar we are. So as we're going around and talking about diversity, inclusion, and how there's no need for it, I think this program just solidifies, wow, it will always be important. And not just from a minority to, a majority to a minority, but the other way around as well. And I encourage people who look like me to step out of our comfort zones, to work with everybody, right? And to support everyone and find people that are aligned with morals and values, and not just who look similar. You'll find that you belong in more spaces than you thought you did if you just look past what you normally look for in ways to connect. So thank you, Jill, for taking heed to, like, listening to that little voice that's telling you to keep going, to create this program, to doing it before anybody asks you for it. Thank you for continuing to transform. I went on the website and saw how things look different, and I really like it. And so just continuing to grow and not being stagnant, and just being passionate about this work. The world needs you. I'm grateful for you. And I just want to say thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, it's been my pleasure. And it makes me so happy to hear that experience and how we could come together and create something really important and significant for you. It's really important to me to be able to do that. And I've always appreciated diversity in my life and always wanted to connect with people who were not like me. And so I've really worked hard to create a whole community of people that can come together like that. So it's so rewarding for me to
It
hear
shows.
your
And we thank you.
experience,
Yes.
and I hope that motivates other people to, join a community that they might not have otherwise joined, because we have a lot of diversity here. And, I have to say it's been inspiring to me just as much as to you. So it's definitely
Well,
been a
thank
two-way
you.
street. My clients inspire me so much, and you're right at the top of the list there.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the next when we work together again, because I'm gonna miss our like scheduled talks. But
Yeah.
don't think you're gonna get rid of me that easy. As far as I'm concerned,
Yes.
you're my friend. So there's that. So there's that. So
I would miss your text messages for sure if those stopped. I love them. Yes. Well, thank you so much for talking with me today, and to everybody who's listening, because I think I hope they're as inspired by you as I am.
oh, thank you, Jill. Thank you.
If you're ready to fully lean into your feminine leadership to get promoted from director to vice president and beyond, hit that subscribe button so you'll get all the episodes to come, and check out the recommended video here to see how women are rising up as far as they want to go without playing by the old rules that built these male-dominated industries and systems.